the whole philosophy thing, I've been involved in it from a very long time, since 1999, when Skeptics of the Pub was actually set up by a guy called Scott Campbell, who's actually from Australia, where they have quite a big, vibrant, top-down community of skeptics, and the same in the States as well. But the problem the UK was having, that one, skepticism is just such a bizarre word. If people ask you what skepticism is, trying to describe it would take far too long. So it's taking a concept that no one really knows what it really means and making it very interesting. And so skepticism, in fact, is exploring ideas in a nutshell. And it doesn't matter whether those are scientific ideas or philosophical ideas or arts or news or investigative journalism, all encompasses critical thinking. So the word skeptic, we were thinking of ditching it at one point because no one really knew what it meant, but we decided to keep it because it wasn't actually the name which forms the meeting, it's actually the people who speak at it, and that was our crux. So in effect, you're forming a community based around a focus, and that was your speaker. So when Scott first started up Skeptics in the Pub in '99, he came over from Australia. He noticed that there were loads of sci-fi clubs around, and he thought, well, I can transfer this into whatever area I want to go into. So he moved into skepticism. He asked Chris French, who's Professor of Philosophy at King's College, if he had any ideas for cheap speakers. He found a pub room for free. That was where they had their sci-fi events. And booked the first speaker, Wendy Grossman, who was the editor of the Skeptic magazine. The first one got about 12 people turned up, and they booked the next one, and it just built and built. So when I took over in sort of 2007-ish, when it changed hands, I had to give it a bit of a kick up the bum because you always have these predecessors. You've got big shoes to fill. So I just went down my list of my books and my shelf, and I basically thought, well, I could probably contact the agents of these people who write these books. So I contacted John Ronson and Ben Goldacre and Simon Singh, and lo and behold, all these people said, yeah, I'm happy to give a talk. So we sort of went from having quite interesting skeptical speakers to having quite mainstream authors who have a scientific background, and it sort of broke down barriers. So I think sort of the pub environment is very important, because if you go and see any lectures normally, there's a barrier between who are in the seats and who is at the front of the stage. And breaking down that barrier, the easiest way to do it is have a couple of drinks, have everyone on a level playing field, on equal ground, and have a round table discussion, and that completely changes the concept and dynamic of that situation. So it's sort of building on that. So at sort of the height of Skeptics, we're getting 200 to 300 people turning up to our pub at such a rate that our mailing list, when I started it, had 250 people on our mailing list. It sort of got up to 2,500 in less than 3 years. So it was pretty much a straight line, and then straight up like a hockey stick graph. That global warming, people deny it actually happened. So it's just been a crazy journey. One of the reasons why it's probably expanded, London was the only one in the world for about 5 years, and I used to get emails from people quite a lot saying, do you have a committee that organises this? And I said, no, I can pretty much do it by myself. And all you have to do is 3 things. One is find yourself a venue, which is a nice pub, ask a speaker and tell people about it. And for a while, for about a year, no one believed me. And then when I actually badgered my ex-wife now, who's actually in Boston, and she did those 3 things and told people about it, they asked her the same thing, because she had a podcast that reached 100,000 people called The Skeptic's Guide to the Universe. And when that kicked off, everyone actually realised that having a grassroots movement that anyone can set up with very little costs and wherever your imagination takes you, in effect, you can do quite big things. So from sort of Skeptics Pub being one in London, it's grown to about 40 in the UK, I think about 100 active ones in the world. And the things that have come out of it, which are slightly bizarre, is Simon Singh did his libel reform campaign. The first get-together was actually in the pub that we used, Skeptics in the Pub, which has gone on to, it's on the second reading in the House of Lords at the moment. So we've actually we're in the motions of changing the law for it. Robbins did 9 lessons and carols of God's people. That pretty much came out of the Skeptics in the Pub as well, because Robin used to badger them to speakers all the time. And people like Simon Singh and Ben Goldacre put themselves forward for Lessons Carols, which ended up being released on TV and is a yearly event in Bloomsbury. So it's just extraordinary how sort of from small things you can actually reach out and pretty much change the world. And I think other people should have that opportunity as well.
Thanks, brilliant.